I should be like you, Mel.
Ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
Good morning, good afternoon and good evening, Cherries fans around the world. Thank you once again for joining me on a pretty grim Thursday morning for Cherry AM. But this time I'm hosting and we've got the co-host, Matt, for once. Morning, Matt. How are you?
Hello, Ollie. Yeah, it's nice to be this side of the screen for a change. But yeah, no, really looking forward to it. I know there's lots to discuss this morning, so I'll let you crack on.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, for everyone in the chat, always here before we are, which is awesome. I know that Sean, I'll come back to some of your comments in just a moment, mate, once we start up the topic of conversation. But good morning, Sean, either way. And morning, Liam Humby. Good morning, all up the Cherries. Malcolm Chiverton. Good morning, everyone. Morning, Mal. Happy Thursday to you all from the Isle of Wight. Nice. Doing a right little tour of the South Coast at the moment, aren't you? Darren Hurst, greetings and salutations to all. Good morning, Darren. Chris Hubble, morning, everyone. And up the Cherries, Chris. Good morning, mate. Paul Sant, good morning, everyone. Morning, Paul. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Yeah, thank you, Malcolm. Thumbs up, liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, notification button, all of those things that you can do. Yeah, do it all if possible. It'd be really helpful for the show, as always. Dan Short, good morning. Morning, Dan. Paul from Oz. Morning, guys. Paul from Oz here. 9 degrees and showers. Oh, that doesn't sound too great. But you'll be on the show tomorrow with Paul from Oz again, won't you?
Yeah, Paul will be with me for tomorrow morning. Yeah, so looking forward to that.
Nice, excellent. Dan Short, haven't seen about Steve Cuss stepped. Bear with us, Dan. That is going to be the topic of conversation today. Steve Cuss and the women's team. Paul Sant, Stan has left it for Ipswich as well. Yeah, there's been a few movements back and forth. Malcolm at Dan, it was put on the group's Facebook page last evening. That's correct, Malcolm. Dan Short, morning, Ollie and Matt. How are we, lads? Morning, Dan. Yeah, very well, thank you. Dan Short, not on Facebook anymore due to it getting hacked a lot. Yeah, used to happen all the time. Malcolm, good morning, Ollie and Matt. Morning, Malcolm. Chris Hubble, morning, Ollie and Matt. And Paul from Oz, morning, Ollie and Matt. We've got one from here from Sean. Went to Wareham Wednesday last night. Highly recommended stalls, pubs, live music and fireworks and beautiful surroundings. If people fancy a change to Poole or Bournemouth. Nice one for that, Sean. Yeah, that's awesome. I imagine there's something going on over there. So if anyone's got kids or fancy a family night out, go over there. That sounds great. Matt, I don't want to hold off too long this morning because there is some huge news that was announced yesterday, wasn't there?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to obviously discuss this point and hear what everyone's got to say in the chat. So,
yeah. So yesterday, the AFC women's team unfortunately had some bad news. their manager, who has done incredibly well up until this stage, Steve Cuss, has unfortunately decided to step down from managing that team moving into this next season, which is a shame, real big shame, because we all know how much Steve's done for the team, how long he's been a part of AFC Bournemouth as a whole, which we'll touch on in a moment. But yeah, it's a huge shame to see him go, and we are of the understanding that it's due to his community head of community role that he's got at the club, which he still has at the club, and he's unable to focus full time on both those roles, and he doesn't feel like it's fair for him to be in a management role now moving forward with the women's team. Not the greatest news moving into the season, Matt. How are we feeling about this at the minute?
Yeah, I think, well, firstly, fair play to Steve for obviously, is coming to this decision. Obviously, he needs to obviously put his full focus onto his jobs, and if he feels one job's going to suffer, then I suppose something in fairness does have to give, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
And that's not always an easy decision to make, especially, the history he's got with the ladies' side, and what he's achieved with them. It must have been a real difficult decision to make that decision to step down and step away from it.
Yeah, it can't have been easy, right? I was thinking about this morning. We're 2 weeks, 10 days or something away from the start of the league.
Yeah.
Has this been a thought process for the whole pre-season? Is this something that he's only just decided now? We're unsure. I can't imagine he's had this thought process the whole time. I think knowing Steve Cuss, I think there'd have been a bit more preparation, right? So I think this might have come at a bit of a pivotal turning point for him, and he's had to make a decision one way or the other, right?
Yeah, I suppose also, when you do get promoted, you don't always know what the workload's going to be when you take that step up. And obviously during this pre-season, obviously the workload must have been greater than anticipated, and that's why he's probably made that decision. It is a real shame, but at the same time, I think the biggest thing with this is probably it's a little bit close to the start of the season, isn't it? So he must have had some time to really think about it and consider it. It's a real difficult one, but I mean from the club's perspective, I think the important thing is that they've got to pick the right person now to take over, because when you look at the signings they've made, which I know you and Malcolm have covered quite a lot on Cherry AM. Some of the signings look really, really good. Plus the squad that's already there is a great squad anyway. So if you look at it from maybe a positive point of view, whoever's going to come in has got a real exciting squad to work with and an exciting challenge as well. Obviously, the ladies being under the Bill Foley ownership as well is an exciting prospect. Yeah. So if you look at it as a job opening for someone to come in and take the team to the next level, I think if I was a coach, I think I would see it as a very, very exciting opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. Actually. I didn't really think of the ramifications of getting these international players, Irish internationals, Welsh internationals. We've got a really fantastic women's team now. And yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe that is needed to have more focus, more determination, more experience, more exposure to higher leagues, even for someone to come in and take that team to the next level now. Yeah, that makes much more sense. And I like that you've put a positive spin on that, because I think a lot of people would maybe feel a bit daunting at the moment with the league that we're going into.
Yeah, I mean, it's a massive loss, isn't it? I mean, obviously, Steve knows the whole team like the back of his hand, and he's worked with them since I think it's 2019, isn't it? So I mean, he's been associated with them for so long. It's going to be, it's not going to be easy, I don't think. But at the same time, you've got to look at it from a positive perspective, and they're all great players. I mean, we've all seen games across the season. I mean, I hadn't seen many, but the games that I have managed to see, they look a really, really good side. So, I mean, I think the only way that you can look at this is by trying to put a positive spin on it. And, at the end of the day, they're going to start the season when I'm not too sure exactly. Is it 10 days? Is it nearer September? I'm not sure. But
I think it's about 10 days from now.
Is it? So I know it's obviously in terms of preparation, it's a bit unfortunate. And I know their pre-season's been hampered anyway by a few cancellations, which must be extremely frustrating for not only just the manager, but the team as well. Because obviously you want to be playing games during the pre-season, obviously to prepare. There's only a certain amount you can do in training, isn't there? So it's been a little bit frustration, but I think we just got to keep the faith. I think, there is a good squad there. I think it's all focused really on the club to appoint the right person to come in to work with the team and take them to the next level.
Yeah.
But I think from us as fans, I think we just got to try and, even though Steve's going to be a massive loss for the team, we've got to look at the future now. We've got to look and try and be positive, really for the team. We've got to be positive and stay behind them. And whoever comes in and takes over has got to have obviously everyone's full backing and really get behind them. So yeah, it is a real big loss. But I just think I mean, Steve's been associated with the club for, what is it, 2002? I think we worked out before we come up, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
And he's been such a big figure within the community side of the club. So even though he's leaving one job, he's been doing great work for many years in another job, and long may that continue as well. So you've got to look at it from a positive, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, couldn't echo those words enough, mate, to be honest. I'll run through these comments and then I want to read something out that I found in the news just about Steve, and then we'll go into possible replacements, maybe things that could be looking good. But look, Sean, Steve Cuss has stepped down as women's head coach. Yeah, he led them successfully, applying to women's fourth tier, and in first season finished second, only losing twice. Second season being unbeaten, only losing promotion to Exeter on goal difference. Then last season again unbeaten, but gaining promotion to the third tier of football. He's also had repeated seasons in third round of FA Cup and won silverware with FA National Plate and Senior Cup. I think that's the Hampshire Senior Cup. He will continue to be around with his work in the Community Sports Trust. Yeah, Sean, you've almost taken the words out of my mouth from what I was about to read, mate. That's awesome. So I'll just run it through here. Yeah, his departure was driven by the increasing demands of managing the women's team, particularly after their recent promotion, which was starting to conflict with his role as head of community at AFC Bournemouth, a position he's held since November 2002. Cuss emphasised that he wanted to ensure that players received 100% of his time and focus, which he felt he couldn't maintain with the expanded responsibilities. He described the decision as difficult, made with a very heavy heart, but based on what he believed was best for the team's continued success. Which comes back to what we were saying, right? Kudos to Steve for recognising this and making the change at the moment. I'm sure he had every backing from AFC Bournemouth as a squad to continue into this season. And I think that's a huge move. And I imagine it is with a very, very heavy heart. So, hats off to Steve Cuss. And I wish him all the very best being as head of community at the club moving forward.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there, mate. Yeah, totally.
Now, look, not to act on things while they're still very warm, but replacements, we have to be looking at them immediately, right? There has to be the team and the club has to have woken up this morning and gone, crap, there's a fire at the women's club. we need to go and put it out immediately. Who can we get to fix this? Now, me and Matt were discussing briefly before. So I thought I'd just put a little bit of research into it, Matt. Now, I'm going to run 4 names past you, just to, you may not know any of these, but some of them might stand out. Now, the first one that comes up is Carly Davies, who's currently the manager at Nottingham Forest Women.
Interesting.
Now she led Forest to both the league title and the WNL Cup last season. Previously, she's had coaching roles with England under-19s, Aston Villa Women, West Brom Women, and fits pretty perfect given the proven success in the same tier of competition. Upward trajectory, experience in youth development, cup competitions. Seems like that would be a pretty good swap/fit for the club. Now, moving slightly further down, Lauren Smith, former Bristol City women head coach. And then we've got Tanya Oxterby, which is also ex-manager at Bristol City women. And then James Lally, which is the manager of Royal Wootton Bassett Town, which are tier 6. But he has a huge understanding of youth development, working with Southwest Women's Football. So you know what Bournemouth are like. We tend to go for the random people that no one may have never heard of, right? And he sounds like he could be one of those good shouts. But no, there's lots and lots and lots of things to come in that sense. It's going to be almost impossible for us to create speculation around it.
Yeah, but looking at it from just maybe a slightly different angle, is there a chance of any promotion from within?
Great question. I imagine there would be. Again, knowing AFC Bournemouth, I know that we've got some great female coaches and male coaches actually at the women's club. So there's a possibility of that for sure. Whether that's the right choice at the moment or the choice that will be made because of the tier of competition that we're going into, I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether that's a gamble, essentially.
Yeah.
When we are in again this pivotal turning point for the team where we need to have someone in who's going to immediately hit the ground running, immediately fit into the squad, and immediately take control. Otherwise, we could be hitting the start of the season on a bit of a lull, which is only going to make it harder for the girls.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah.
Paul Sands, why not try Fletch as the new manager? Not a bad shout. Super Fletch. Yeah. Malcolm Chiverton, unfortunately, this has happened so close to the start of the season. Yeah.
That is the only thing, isn't it? That it is so close to the season.
Yeah, that's right. Dan, I'll double check this before the end of the show. I'll make sure I get an accurate start date for everyone so that we're not just putting out random dates when they start. Sean, with all the pre-season game cancellations, it certainly hasn't helped the women's team to start, but I'm sure they will have someone to start up. Yeah, that's a good point, Sean. Do we know why? Because there has been quite a few cancellations for the female games. Is there a reason for that? Do we know?
I've just looked up the date for you, Ollie, just so we can confirm it in a minute.
Oh, sound okay. If anyone knows that in the chat, be awesome information for us. Dan Short, give it to Steve Fletch or Carl. Craig, morning all. Hope we are all doing well. Off to see Peppa Pig for Libby's birthday. Craig, happy birthday, Libby.
Yeah.
Hope you guys are fantastic.
To be fair, he did phone me last night and he sounded a lot more excited to go to Peppa Pig World than Libby did. So I think I know.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me. He's had a tough week at work, right? It's a good holiday for him.
Go and chill out with Peppa Pig for the day. So
yeah, right, nice to see you, Craig. Liam Humby, it's a great shame. Steve Cuss has done incredibly well. Yeah, he has indeed, mate.
Absolutely.
He also said, enjoy, Craig, and happy birthday, Libby. And Malcolm says, happy birthday, Libby. Don't be late, Craig. Yeah, late for his daughter's birthday, Malcolm. Can you imagine? Chris Hubble, happy birthday, Libby. Have a great day, Craig. Sean, women's first league game, Sunday the 17th. Yeah, 10 days.
That is correct.
August, 2 p.m. Yeah, I thought it was 10 days. Against Billericay Town. So is that home or in Billericay?
That is at home.
At home. Fantastic. Okay. Chris Hubble, can't wait to see the new third away kit for this season.
Yeah, I do reckon it might be released in time for Saturday's game. So I reckon they might wear it on Saturday, you see, because obviously they've worn the red one a few times. They wore the blue one during the summer series.
Yeah.
So they might, and they've done it before pre-season friendlies. They've worn the away strips, to kind of promote it before the season. So I don't know. I reckon possibly they might be wearing it Saturday, but I could be completely wrong. Obviously, I'm just speculating. But yeah, I reckon stick with it, Chris. I don't think it's going to be too long before we see it, and if it's anything that we believe it might be, it seems to be a pink theme. So yeah, watch this space, as they say.
That's it, exactly. And it's tough, isn't it, with how close they're playing the cards to their chest at the moment this pre-season. Everything's been speculation here, there and everywhere, so it's tough not to speculate when things are taking so long to come out. But yeah, super exciting. And if it is out for the Real Sociedad game, awesome. That would be amazing to see it. But also on that waiting train with you, Chris, also there. Sean, sometimes jobs don't look that good, but I think with the promotion and the way the club is going, I think it's very appealing, and there could be a fight for it. Yeah, that would be interesting.
This job, I think, to any coach, this job is very, very, very appealing. I think, like I said a little earlier on, if I was a coach, I think this would be a really exciting challenge to want to take on. Like I say, great group of players, great additions that have been added already. Plus, obviously, with the previous promotions, I know there was the near miss the season before, wasn't there, to Exeter, which was only on goal difference, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're inheriting an excellent squad. So it's without doubt an exciting challenge for any coach that wants this job.
Massive. And what an environment as well, right? How many jobs do you get to step into where the ex-manager is still the head of community at the club? Which, that must be strange. Being able to lean and bounce back and forth should you have to. That also is quite a strange framework that you don't really hear often.
Yeah, no. I didn't even think of that. Obviously, he's still at the club, so whoever's coming in probably isn't going in blind. Does obviously. That's right. Steve there, phone him up, Steve, this, or any advice on this, and that's also you've hit the nail on the head there. That's excellent to have as well.
Yeah, which makes me come back to, I think, your comment earlier is maybe there is possibility from within, because there is that support circle, right? They're not going in and completely having to do this on their own. Technically, I didn't even think about that. That's an interesting point.
They know the players as well, don't they? They know the players as well. So rather than bringing someone completely new in at this late stage, is it a case that promoting from within is a better option? Who knows? Who knows?
We've got 10 days. We've got 10 days. So to be able to find a replacement, that replacement fit, gel with the team, the girls want that. Like, it just seems a lot to do in 10 days with everything else that's going on for the recruitment team, Interesting. That's it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see how it develops over the next 10 days before the kick-off to the new season. Yeah. Paul Sants, what about Willow? Who are we referring to there?
John Williams, I think. Yeah, he's now hung his mic up, hasn't he, with Radio Solent after, I think it was like 25 years or something like that. So, and he used to be assistant manager to Mel Machin many years ago, and he was also involved in the youth team, and I think he'd done just a role at the club. He used to play for us as well, part of Harry Redknapp's 86-87 promotion season. So I don't know whether this is the job for him though, Paul, but interesting name to mention.
Sean, the other team's cancelled. Don't know why though. Oh, that's in regards to the women's team games that went on. Right.
Yeah. The cancellations were from them,
Paul from Oz, normal procedure at this stage would be interim manager until sorted. Did he have an assistant manager?
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. Would it still be the case though in pre-season? Would that still be normal procedure?
They'll have I don't know if they've got any more games, pre-season games scheduled, but they're still going to have training scheduled. So I would imagine the assistant will step up and obviously take the sessions until obviously a manager is appointed. Who knows? His assistant might be in interim charge for the first couple of games of the season. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. And Malcolm Chiverton is cancellations were from the other clubs, but not given reason. Yeah, strange. I think a comment was mentioned earlier about the lack of preseason games, plus now with Steve Cuss, they've not had the easiest start mentality-wise moving into this seriously tough women's football season. It just doesn't, it doesn't bode too well. But knowing the signings that we've got and the team and the club that we're developing, hopefully, as mentioned, we've got an assistant coach that has been following in Steve Cuss's footsteps for a little while, and he can come in and make the necessary changes. And fingers crossed for them in every sense, to be honest. But Matt, I mean, that was really the biggest thing of yesterday, the biggest talking point of today. Was there anything else going on that needed to be covered apart from Steve Cuss? And obviously, guys in the chat, we will continue to keep this covered moving forward over the next 10 days. So all of next week's Cherry AMs, if there's any developments in this whatsoever, I'll make sure that everyone's kept up to date.
Yeah, I mean, without obviously the usual rumours that are flying around, that was about it really from yesterday, wasn't it? That was the main news. Obviously, the Neto deal's not confirmed yet, is it?
Nope,
that's not been confirmed as yet. Not that I've seen anyway. After
a quick search, it gives out the standard. PSG and Bournemouth still at odds over Zaba. Neto not agreed entirely yet. He's still got his medical due, I believe.
Yeah, there's more links with Mepham as well that I did see. I'm just trying to find it now. Yeah, Mepham's linked to Sheffield United again.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
I think they've had an injury or a departure to a centre back role, and they're linking obviously Meps as an ideal replacement. I mean, if you look at that, I mean, he's been linked to Sheffield United before as well in the past. But if you look at that, I mean, I think, in fairness to Meps, that would be, probably an ideal club to go to. I mean, game time, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, I know we haven't got, enough centre-backs probably at the minute. We probably need to add one or two in there. And if we do, that means he'll probably go further down the pecking order. So, for him, it's probably a move like that would be a good move. Obviously, had a very successful season last year in the Championship at Sunderland. I mean, without all these kind of similar rumours that, we just speculate about day in, day out, there's not much, about it. That's the only thing with this time of the year, isn't it? There's all these rumours and speculations that we're always talking about and discussing, and soon the season will be back, and once the transfer window closes, we can really focus on that coming up. So
we are 8 days, Matt. 8 days away from the start of the season. Next Friday, Liverpool versus Bournemouth. First game of the Premier League.
Yes, it is. That's what we're excited about. I just stumbled on something. It's a website called thestadiumbusiness.com. And it's saying that AFC Bournemouth have appointed real estate company Savills, as lead consultants for its Vitality expansion plans.
Yeah, do you know what? I've seen that. I've seen that Savills managed to get the bidding war there, which is pretty huge, to be fair, because Savills is a massive company compared to others that we could have gone with.
Yeah. So that's quite interesting. But yeah, other than that, when you look through the normal sort of stuff, it's just the normal kind of rumours, isn't it? Unless anybody in the chat has heard anything.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing that I've just come across is obviously Neto is in Brazil. His medical is due to happen tomorrow. If all goes well with tomorrow, then there's going to be a mutual agreement to terminate his contract. So that is ready to happen and unravel over the weekend, shall we say.
Yeah, so similar to the move that he made from Barcelona to Bournemouth. I think it was a case that Barcelona needed to get him off his off the wage bill, so they just gave him a free transfer. So sounds like it's a similar situation there, which I think, in fairness for everybody, for the player, like I said, I was a fan of Neto, and we're going to touch on it in Cherry Picking, which will be out tomorrow morning. We'll touch on both Neto and Steve Cuss. We'll pay a bit of tribute to Steve Cuss on Cherry Picking this week. So yeah, Neto was someone I was quite fond of, but I can see why we are making the change. Obviously last season with Kepa and now with Petrovic. So I think it's best for probably both parties that he is given the free move to carry on his career elsewhere. So I think that would work out for everybody. That one.
Yeah, agreed, mate. And look, I think it's time that we balance that sheet, right? We've got to this stage now. We're looking at the financial sustainability moving forward. It's time to knuckle down on it, right? Be harsh, maybe when harsh is needed. But all of these players have earned their time and have deserved their time at the club. So, there's no harsh feelings anywhere, right?
Absolutely.
Sean, they have a behind closed door game against West Brom on Sunday the 10th. That's right.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So someone will step up and take that game then. Yeah.
Which I guess we'll see what happens on that game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean, if Neto goes, who do you think will be second choice? Not who you want. Interesting.
This is a point that myself and the panel on cherry picking are going to be discussing. We're actually going to be putting ourselves into the manager's shoes and actually ranking the squad. So first choice keeper, second choice keeper, through the defence, midfield, attack, and so on. So I'll be honest with you, I've not really thought about this yet. That's an interesting question. So I'll give my answer on cherry picking. So if you want to know my answer, Sean, tune into that tomorrow at 9:00. Because I've not thought about it yet, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, it's got to be Paulson. Otherwise, what are we doing with him? There's no point sitting him not on the bench or not in the squad for the whole season. There has to be some use for him here, and I think there must be, considering we're not considering getting him gone again. So this must be the start of his entrance into the club, whether he gets first team spots or not. I think it's got to be Paulson this season. But yeah, that's my opinion, and I look forward to hearing everyone else's on cherry picking tonight. Darren. Hey, Matt, will UTCIAD be covering live game footage for the first away game against Liverpool?
Right,
next Sunday the 15th.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be the match preview show, the Dean Court Social, which will be out next Thursday. And Ollie will obviously have his match reaction show on the Monday, Cherry Slaps. In terms of the actual game, unless anyone is not going and free to do a watch along, then we will. But at this stage, I don't think there is anybody, to be honest. And obviously, as Darren knows, we're meeting up in a couple of weeks to discuss watch-alongs and things like that. So, unfortunately, I don't think we will have one in place for the Liverpool game. If we can get one in place, then we definitely will. But I don't think we will have, to be honest.
Yeah, I also think that's the case. I don't think we'll have anyone available, will we? I mean, I'm going to try and be at the game away.
So I think it's pretty much ruled everybody out, unless Malcolm's doing one going solo. I doubt it at the minute. Yeah,
fair enough. There's your answer, Darren. But by all means, tune in for the Dean Court Social, which will be on a Thursday, and the Cherry Slaps on a Monday. So you'll have the preview and post for every game. So although you're not watching it live, you'll have most information that you need.
Yeah, and plus, looking forward to meeting Darren with Malcolm a week on Sunday. So
on Sunday, nice.
Yeah, we're all meeting up on StreamYard and gonna have a chat about a few things. So speak to you then, Darren. Looking forward to it.
Nice, good. And finally, before we start to close down the show, Darren's got another comment here. Paulson has obviously been spotted as a talent, given a contract to entice him over, and then not given a single minute game time to date. For him, that must be a disappointing start for him. Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, it would be disappointing for him, but I think this is the process that most players go through. I think especially goalkeepers.
Yeah.
I think especially goalkeepers, it's a real tough role and a tough position to break into if you're not a first team goalkeeper. So this is the transition that's going to be hard for him, and he's still got a bit of hard work to do because people don't see him as a first team player yet. But give it time, Darren, and I believe that he'll have his time to shine, and he'll really showcase how good he is at some point this season.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And we'll be tuning in, and I will be watching games live. Nice, good. And Sean, I would, but my daughter's birthday is day after, so a lot of things to sort out. Completely understand, mate. Completely understand. These things happen. Maybe in the future we might be able to do some watch-alongs between us, but chances are live games we probably won't this season because we'll either be at them, watching them together somewhere in a pub, or overtaken by pre and post match interviews and shows. But either way,
hopefully we will. I mean, it's something we do want to start this season, and that's kind of what myself, Malcolm, and Darren are going to be talking about.
There we go. Fantastic.
That's kind of hopefully what we can maybe get some of them going throughout the season. But yeah, it's a bit difficult. We've done the odd one over the last couple of seasons. We've done the odd one here and there when we've been able to. But yeah, it's something that we're trying to get hopefully a bit more regular if we can. Yeah,
that'd be ideal, mate. And look, we'll see what you guys can do. We'll see what you guys can muster up between the three of you.
Yes.
But for now, it is farewell from us at Cherry AM. As mentioned earlier in the show, please do like, subscribe, comment, follow the channel, go and click all the buttons, the bells everywhere on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, and do everything that you can to support the channel moving forward. Other than that, please do say hello to Matt and Paul from Oz tomorrow morning, who'll be taking over the show. And farewell from me until Monday morning, I believe. Thank you, everyone, once again. Thank you, Matt, for joining me. I hope you have a nice day.
It's been a good one. It's been nice to come in and do one with you. So, and thanks to everybody in the chat, and thanks to everyone for their support. So, yeah, it's been a good one.
Absolutely. Up the cherries. Cheers, guys.
TalkSport Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
I should be like you, Melvin.